I hope nothing happens on this fateful day, June 28, 1914, that could send the world into a global conflict. It will be such a shame. Hi, and welcome back to the BBB channel. And on today's episode, we will be talking about a certain war that is very often referred as the Great War or the war that would end all wars. But how did this war even start in the first place? Let's dive deep into it. This is the map of Europe in 1914, and this is the last map of the same one. But the reason why there was an alliance between Germany and Austria-Hungary is especially interesting. So, let's meet our characters.
Choose your character.
You have chosen Germany. You see, Germany wasn't always really unified like this. Throughout the history, this region was divided into multiple little self-governing states. Some of you might even say, well, actually, there was a Holy Roman Empire that had united them. Yes, true, but that country was dysfunctional for a long time. Like, look at this map. You really think that person from here would understand someone from there? Obviously not. And also, all of these states had their own king who ruled over them while ignoring the real king of the Holy Roman Empire, who was, by the way, throughout the history fighting the Pope, who claimed that king's seat was his. Anyways, we are getting further away from our topic. Basically, from 1866 to 1881, Germany went through the process of unification that could be summarized in this comic. So, are you guys interested in joining me to create a big German empire? Nah, I'm good. France would definitely not let me do that. Same here. Also, I don't think that Austria would let you do that. Ha! That old jerk? There's no way that he would stop me from doing that. You'll see. Hey, Austria! Wow! Eat this! Alright, that was epic, but what about Sacre Bleu? What did you do with my Austria, you freak? Now I'm going to pay for my glorious army. What army? Okay, anyways, do you want to join me? Yes! If you want more about German unification, you can always write down in the comments what topic would you like, and also don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Now, back to the video. After German unification, Germany emerged as a strong nation but without any colonies. By the way, by that time, a good chunk of the world was colonized by the Western European nations, even though France and Britain did eventually give some land to Germany. That was still far less for a strong empire such as Germany. Because of that, Germany decided to create an alliance with other bigger nations in Europe, without, or almost without, any colonies such as Italy and Austria-Hungary. Now we go to Italy. Italy had almost the same scenario as Germany. Throughout the history, it's been divided into different kingdoms, and they have all united around the same time as Germany. Italy, like Germany, also had a little bit of colonies, and its goal was to recreate the Roman Empire to its full extent. Keep dreaming, Italy. Unlike Germany or Italy, Austria-Hungary was an empire which existed in the past, but during the big colonization time, Austria-Hungary, or Habsburg monarchy at the time, was facing bigger threats, and during the carving in Africa, they didn't get anything. Another important key to this is that Germany was surrounded by countries which didn't really like the German unification, so that was also the reason why Germany decided to create a defensive pact called Triple Alliance with Italy and Austria-Hungary on May 20th, 1882. Because of this, there was a lot of fear between French, British and Russians. They all knew the Triple Alliance was strong, especially Germany, who actually beat France. So as an answer, France, Britain and Russia created their own alliance pact called Entente. It was established in 1907. It took some time to create it, because throughout the history, English and French had despised each other, and English and Russians were not on the best line with each other, so it was honestly a surprise when they have announced the alliance. As you might have seen, the tensions are rising in Europe. Every year, something happens that makes relations between Triple Alliance and the Entente even more strained. But this war was different because there was much more innovative weapons being used, such as tanks, flamethrowers, hand grenades, etc. None of these weapons existed before. Because of that, generals and military tactics from all sides at that time had believed that this war was the war to end all wars. They only needed a strong justification to start it. Such a nice view, people are cheering, everyone's happy, what could possibly go wrong? This is Gavrilo Princip, a Bosnian Serb, member of Black Hand community. He hates the Archduke and wants to kill him. Why is that river so drained? Well, luckily, I have a plan B. Oh, for God's sake, just let me die. Yes, this is literally what happened. It's actually one of the most funniest stories I know. Anyways, with Archduke now dead, the things in Europe could only get worse. The King of Austria-Hungary was fuming in rage because of his son's killing, and he was supposed to take his throne after the king's death, which was nearing with the reason that he was really old. In the days following the event, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. Why on Serbia, you might ask? Well, Gavrilo was a Serb himself who lived in Bosnia, and the Black Hand organization was established in Serbia, so the Austria-Hungary thought the Serbian government might have had something to do with it. Because Serbia was in alliance with Russia and they were allied to France, they both quickly declared war on Austria-Hungary. Seeing this, Germany, who was allied to Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia and France. One thing's missing though. If you have noticed, Britain. Britain was in alliance with France, but they have refused to go to war. For now, at least. Same scenario goes to Italy. Now we travel to Germany, where we will discuss their war plan, also known as Schlieffenplan. That plan was to invade France and then quickly go to Russia to defeat them. The logic behind this plan was that Russia is big and that it would take some time until they fully mobilize and prepare for war. There was a little problem with French part though. You see, after that humiliating loss against the Prussians, they have made the reinforcements along its border with Germany called Maginot Line. Okay, not a problem. We can go around France and cross into Belgium. Surely nothing can go wrong with that. Well, everything fell apart. Belgians didn't quite like the German presence, so they fought back fiercely. To make things even worse, Britain didn't really like the fact that Germany was invading a neutral state, and now they have also declared war on them and the Austria-Hungary. You really thought things couldn't look worse for the Germans? Well, you're wrong! Russia was ready for war, and they didn't waste a minute, so they started invading Germany and Austria-Hungary. Austria-Hungary proved to have weaker than expected military because they just couldn't break Serbian defense lines at all, and they couldn't do anything about the Russians in the east. This prompted a decision in Berlin to take some troops from the Western Front to fight against Russia to the east, and they actually made some progress. Back to the west. Although they were fighting Belgium, Germans were advancing. They have crossed the border into France and marched so deep that they were in sight of Paris. French commander knew that something had to be done. He ordered French troops to stop retreating and fight the arriving German army. This battle is also known as Battle of Marne, which resulted in a French victory, and Germans were forced to retreat. Instead of running like the French did, Germans dug up into defensive positions. French combined with British did the same. This was the start of the trench warfare. But how did trench warfare actually work? Find out in the second part. Until then, like, share, subscribe, and we will see us in the next video.